Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It's now 3 in the afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us today in this session. It's now 3 o'clock, so let us begin. Our session today is on teaching tired, finding meaning and energy when you're running on empty. So today in our session, what we want to be able to accomplish is this. For those of you who keep on showing up, even if you're tired, even exhausted, and we will try to reframe tiredness not as weakness, but as an invitation, in fact, to rediscover meaning, to realign our purpose, and then build small sustaining habits that restore joy and energy. So this is our set of objectives for today. By the end of this session, we hope to be able to identify common causes and signs of teacher fatigue and burnout. Chances are some of you will, in fact, be able to connect and be able to say, yes, I don't realize it, but I'm actually tired and nearing burnout. And then by the end of this session, I hope to be able to help you reconnect with the deeper meaning behind our vocation and mission as teachers, as educators. And I'm going to give you 5 science-backed ways to restore energy and then practice sustainable habits and mindset shifts for long-term renewal. Okay? So, in other words, this session is for tired and exhausted teachers who keep on still showing up, coming to school, teaching, and even performing. Because really, that's what I know good educators do. They leave the house with problems. They have not paid Meralco. They receive the billing for credit card for the month. They need to bring food on the table. But when they enter the classroom, they perform like as if there's no problem. They give their best. They lecture like as if there is no bill to pay. There is no pending payment for loan, for credit, for electricity, for when they're in front of the students, they teach like as if everything is a-okay. But we are not robots. We are not machines. We have feelings. We have energy that is getting extinguished. And so it's possible that you can have a teacher who may be very lively teaching in front of the class, but actually has a lot of problems in mind. And if that teacher is not supported, if that teacher does not receive the push, encouragement, and the encouragement that is very badly needed, it's possible that he or she can reach burnout level. And that's what we are going to address today. Teachers, you are so important. You are the most important teaching tool inside the classroom. It's not the blackboard, it's not the video projector, it's not the air condition. Um, Teachers are the most important teaching tools inside the classroom. And that's why it's very important that we know how to take care of ourselves. Let me see. There are now 8 of us in the room. I want to find out on a scale of 1 to 10, how tired are you today at this point? Maybe you just came from a class. Maybe you even had to leave behind a class because you have to be here in the session. But I'm very interested to know on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very tired, really exhaustion level. One is, okay, I am not tired at all. What level are you in at this point today? Or maybe at this time of the school year? Can you type in the chat box? Scale of 1 to 10. Ma'am Telma, who has not missed any of our sessions, I think the whole 2025, says 6, level 6 of tiredness. Anyone else? Can I see replies from the others? What level of tiredness are you today at? Um, Stephanie, Princess, Geneva, Roby, um, would you like to share with us your scale? Catalyst office says 6, which is not bad. Okay. Okay, great. Somebody sent me a message of 4. Okay, good. Well, teachers get tired, and traditionally, as what we heard from Dr. Grillo, studies show on the third month of the school year, that is when exhaustion can start happening, especially if you're the kind of teacher who will put in all your heart in your teaching in the class for your students, and you continue showing up. It is around this time, September, October, when you really start feeling the exhaustion, especially if you're the kind of teacher who really give your best in every meeting, in every class. But you keep on showing up because sometimes showing up is the bravest thing you can do. You know, something I learned from HR officers is we are seeing more and more among young teachers, especially those who are just beginning, um, they go through the interview, the demo teaching, the panel interview, the exam to be admitted as a teacher, and then they're accepted. And then after a month or 2 months, when it becomes very tiring, taxing, they just disappear. No text message, no email. They just stop coming to school. And I've witnessed it myself firsthand. I've seen teachers who did that. They start teaching, and then after 2, 3 months, they stop showing up. And then you don't hear from them. And then the school has to look for first substitute teachers, and then eventually if there are really no signs that the teacher is going to come back, they are forced to hire new ones. And then even worse is 3 months after that teacher disappears, he emails or she emails saying, "Sir, I want to be accepted back in." Ah, what is that? But what happened? You left class, your section, your assignments hanging for 3 months. And the guy is going to tell you that he was grappling with mental health issues. But what can you do? You, in the first place, you signed a contract. So what happened to the commitment that you're supposed to have given as a professional? So it can happen, it does happen. And in fact, what I'm hearing is it's happening in many places. You have teachers coming into the profession who have no concept of commitment, who have no concept of dedication, of uh, you know, honoring a contract, a commitment that they entered into when they took on the job, and then they just give up, they quit, they leave without even making sure that things are not left hanging. So, because it's possible that a teacher can get burnt out, here are 5 facts about teacher burnout. Number one, it is not laziness, it's depletion. Most teacher fatigue comes from emotional labor, not just workload. Okay? It's not laziness. It is feeling like your tank has run empty. Burnout doesn't mean you're broken. It means your inputs and outputs are just no longer in balance. And that's why we're going to look into how can we make sure there is a balance? How can we make sure we do not reach breaking point? Because, okay, getting exhausted because of dedication, of hard work, of intense work that you put in, it's possible, really, that you can just get tired and exhausted, but not broken. But yes, there is such a thing as breaking point. How do we make sure we don't reach that point? Here's another truth, reality about burnout, teacher burnout. Chronic stress shrinks our sense of purpose. The brain goes into survival mode and making joy harder to feel. It can happen. And when that feeling comes, it means we are getting burnt out. And there are things that we can do in order to make sure we do not reach that point. Here's another reality, and all of us felt it, especially during the pandemic when we were teaching, we were forced to teach online. And we are not even sure if the people there in the screen are alive or listening or paying attention. Isolation makes it worse. Tired teachers often withdraw, cutting off their support systems, which is ironic because at that point, what they in fact really more badly need is accompaniment, companionship, colleagues coming to their aid, to make them see, to make them realize that wait, you're not alone, you're not isolated. There are people who are willing to help you. Here's another reality about teacher burnout. You can recover from it. Exhaustion, tiredness, it's possible to recover from it, but not by working harder. Recovery starts with meaning, with rest, with micro changes. And that's why it's worthwhile discussing this topic. It's worthwhile talking about this. Maybe at this point, some of you may even be thinking, ay, sayang, sana nandito si Mrs. So-and-so. How I wish Miss So-and-so is here to listen to this. She needs this very badly. She's the one I know who is really in that point of being burnt out. Well, unfortunately, this teacher burnout is one of the reasons why some teachers give up, why some teachers leave the profession. Here, one of the top 5 reasons why teachers leave the profession is precisely because of chronic stress and burnout. And some of you may have started feeling it, especially at this point, because you prepared for your first day of classes. You prepared your unit plans. You even prepared your uniform, the what you're going to wear. The night before, it was there in the hangar, and you were excited. And maybe some of you, your first day of teaching, you even prepared the punchlines you're going to give, the jokes that you're going to crack, the everything you prepared for in your mind. And then you went on with a school year, with the school days happening week after week. And before you know it, you had to prepare for your uh, unit tests, your long tests. You have to get the students to do PETA, the performance tasks, and you got yourself busy checking papers. And then before you know it, your department chair, your coordinator is already asking you to submit for checking your quarterly exam. And then before you know it, you're given a deadline to submit the grades. And while you're doing the grades, here comes now the new deadline for submission of unit plans for the next quarter that is about to start or that is starting. And then it becomes like that, deadlines after deadlines. And then meanwhile, you're called for a faculty meeting and you are given assignments. Buwan ng wika, you have to prepare your class for sabayang bigkasan, for competition, for contests. You have to coach a student in the midst of all the deadlines. And then you have an assignment to be in the foundation day committee, PTA meeting committee. You have to be in the chronic, chronic stress and burnout. That is one of the major reasons for why some teachers decide to leave the profession. Here's another reason why some teachers give up when they don't feel the support of the administration, when they feel that the administration blame teachers for the complaints of parents, complaints of students, when administration micromanages, or when they just feel that they have been abandoned by the leadership, that the um, administration couldn't care less that you are exhausted or tired, or that the deadlines are sometimes impractical, unreasonable. And then, third is when you even start feeling that for all the work I do, the pay is just not enough. No matter how DepEd raises the salary of teachers, it will become inadequate, not enough for all the work that we do. And many times, work that we bring home, test papers that we have to check, unit plans that we have to craft, not during work hours, but even on a Saturday and on a Sunday and on a holiday and on a uh, typhoon day when students are just so excited that no classes that day, but we still have deadlines to meet. Many feel that they're sacrificing too much for too little compensation. That is a major reason for some to leave the profession. Of course, you and I know, especially with the kind of students we have right now, the technocentric kids, many of whom are addicted to gadget, to technology, to social media, and we see it in their behavior, in their attitude. Most importantly, some leave the profession because they come to the conclusion, what's the point? What's the point of all this hard work, too many deadlines? And then this is the kind of kids I have inside my classroom. This is the kind of students we are getting. They don't know how to obey. to respect, to be responsible. They cheat. They are chat GPT mindset. I'm just giving the assignment. They're already thinking of cut and pasting from the computer. Okay, all these can happen to a teacher who is burnt out, feeling invisible, or like the work doesn't matter anymore. Dear fellow teachers, these are not just complaints, they are cries for help. And all the five of these reasons have one thing in common. They slowly erode a teacher's why. Why did you become a teacher? Why do you continue being a teacher? The our purpose in becoming a teacher, our reason for becoming a teacher starts disappearing or becoming hazy and even erased from our mind. When you no longer feel the support, you no longer feel seen or purposeful, that is the point when it becomes easy, very easy to start asking, why am I even doing this? So, this is the reason why a sense of mission can help us stay in the profession. Purpose driven teachers, we see meaning beyond the grades, are more likely to bounce back from failures, from difficulties, from challenges. Purpose driven teachers who know who they serve, the kids, the future, the ones who are going to replace these congressmen and senators, and yes, the person in Malacanang. The students inside our classroom are the ones who are going to be the future DPWH engineers, and we have to prepare them to be good professionals, upright men and women. And when we think of our profession that way, we are more likely to persevere through fatigue. Purpose-driven teachers reconnect with small wins. And if we are like that, we are more likely to find daily joy in little things. Purpose-driven teachers filter out toxic comparisons. And we are more likely to stay focused on impact. I'm in the teaching profession because I want to make a difference in the lives of people. That's a purpose-driven teacher. I continue to teach, even if the kids of today are so different, so lacking in empathy, so soft. That's how experts describe this generation of young people today, the snowflake generation, who, after you correct them, they get into depression, into mental health crisis, only because you reprimanded them for poor work, for poor output, for not studying hard enough, for not exerting the effort, and then they get into all sorts of mental complications. It is precisely because of them that we continue to teach, because we are preparing them to be successful in the future. Remember what we said in one of the past sessions, we are not just here to cover the curriculum. We are not just here to finish the textbook. We are here to prepare these young people to be good men and women of character, who later on will become professionals who will make the world a better place, who will not abuse people, step on people, and for their personal gains. No? But that we're going to make them persons for others. A purpose-driven teacher knows when to rest and not to quit, and they are more likely to seek growth, not escape. Sure, you can get tired and exhausted. If you reach that point, then take a rest. By the way, rest does not mean not doing anything. Rest does not only mean to sleep. But yes, I also have to remind teachers, take care of your sleep. Because as experts would say, people today are sleep deprived. People today lack good sleep. Why? Because there are now so many competitions competing for our attention, for our time. Entertainment, social media, Netflix, Spotify, more than 1 billion videos in YouTube, TikTok, all the reels in Facebook, all those are now competing um, for our time. And you can also have a teacher today who can be spending inordinate amount of time in all these things. And so they also lack sleep. And that's why I have to emphasize teachers, we have to take care of our rest, of our sleep. Okay? So let's give a new definition of strength. What does being a strong teacher mean to you? Well, here are three descriptions I can give you of strength. Strength can mean staying present, that you don't quit, you don't just be absent for the flimsiest of excuse, the flimsiest reason we don't show up for class. Well, we think about the students who wait for us, who are expecting us, who are even, for some of them, counting on us. Strength can mean teaching tired, but still teaching with love. And as I mentioned to you at the start of the session, I know many people, many teachers who are like that. They continue teaching even if they're tired. Why? Because for them, strength is that doing that um, task of teaching for love, with love, out of love for the students. They care enough for them, especially because, I repeat, for some of them, they count on the teacher. They look up to the teacher. But here's another definition of strength, which I hope you can capture and personalize. Strength also means asking for help when you need it. I repeat, that is strength. It's also strength when you ask for help if you need it. That's not a sign of weakness. So, at one point or another, if you feel really exhausted, speak up and ask for help from a colleague, from a teacher who's been there for decades. Chances are you have teachers like that in your school. Teachers who have been there for 20 years, 25 years. Ask help from them. Open up. Maybe the help we can get from them is, Mrs. Batungbakal, um, I need a coach, I need a mentor. You who have succeeded in being a great teacher on your 25th year, can you be my mentor? Can we have a chat? I need help in pushing me to continue on despite these difficulties. I feel exhausted. I feel tired. I think I need to open up to someone. That is strength. That's not a sign of weakness. It's brave of a person to be able to tell another colleague, another teacher, help, I need some support. So then, here are five practices I can recommend for you to recover energy and joy. Here's the first one: mini rituals of meaning. For example, mini ritual like starting class with a silent prayer or a quotation or personal check in. Now, you can do that inside the classroom, but on your own, when you arrive in school, when you arrive in your campus, I know many schools would even have chapels, prayer room, drop by as a mini ritual to start your day with a prayer, with a silent prayer, asking for help. You know, when I said strength is also asking for help, and that too is a sign of strength when you ask help from God. When you go to the chapel, to the prayer room, and ask our Lord, ask God, Lord, I'm tired. I need your help to get through this day. Or, you Google um, top 100 motivational quotes for teachers. I'm sure you're going to find hundreds of websites with thousands of motivational quotations for teachers. And every day, just go to one of these quotations to motivate you, to push you, to encourage you, to give you what we call an impetus. The benefit of this is it anchors the teacher emotionally. And then it sets the tone for purpose, mini rituals of meaning to make it a habit, a daily habit. Here's another one: the one good thing practice. Every day, end your day by naming one good thing, big or small. One good thing I can be grateful for today, whether it's a small thing or a big thing, but to end the day trying to see one good thing every day. And chances are you will come to the conclusion that it's not that bad after all. There are still good things to look back to, and many more good things to look forward to. Here's another practice, another tip to be able to recover your energy. Compartmentalize the chaos. Use mental door closing routines after school, whatever it is. Like uh, to end the day that has been chaotic, full of stress, challenges. You got upset with one student, you had to meet the deadline of submission, you had to delay lunch for 2 hours. The whole day may have been full of chaos. Use a mental door. It's like only in your mind to end the day, to close the day so that you can get on with your going home without that chaos still hanging in your mind. For example, I know someone who would end the day drinking a cup of tea, having a cup of tea to shut the door and end that day. No more. I'm done with that day. Some would end the day by listening to good music, relaxing, comforting, calming music. Is it classical music? Go ahead. Just you know, um, have it in your mind that with this music. I shut the door. I close all this chaos that has happened today. Some would take a walk, 10-minute walk, 5-minute walk. Some would end the day with a prayer to ask God to take care of all these challenges that have come his way. Whatever it is, the idea here is to protect your home and your heart space so that you don't go home bringing the chaos with you. And then yung init ng ulo mo sa estudyante, idadalin mo sa bahay. All the angers, the frustrations, the all those things that you have to go through, you're not going to bring it to your wife, to your husband, to your children, because you've already shut the door and you're going to uh, regain your composure and your peace of mind and serenity when you get home. Here's another strategy to regain your energy map awareness. Try to track what activities during the day drained you, got you exhausted, tired, frustrated. That's energy map. But there are some activities that refilled you. Was it when you took lunch? Was it when you managed to have that cup of coffee that you felt strong again, ready for more challenges? Was it that conversation with a friend, with a colleague, with a co-teacher? Was it uh, a TikTok video you saw during a break and it energized you? Whatever it is, try to have that map inside your head, those that drained you, those that got you tired, and those that energized you, so that next time around, prioritize what gives energy, even if it is not urgent. Okay? Because all of us need a good break from chaos, break from energy zapping activities. Here's another one: micro affirmations. Remind yourself, well, I showed up. I didn't quit. I could have decided to stay in bed and not come to school, but I showed up. That's affirming the good you have done. Little, not consequential, but it's good to affirm yourself even in little things. I did good enough. I was patient with a student. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't shout. I didn't scream. And even better, I made John, Joanna feel seen when I talked to them. I made the class laugh with a wholesome, funny joke that I cracked. Micro affirmations to make you see that, you see, you're okay. You're doing good. You are doing a lot of good, in fact. So, the purpose reset. This is what we can do. Here are some ideas on how you can reset your purpose. Remind yourself of your why. Why did I become a teacher? Why is it still worthwhile, in fact? Here is one idea: write a letter to myself at my tired desk. What would your most joyful, fired up self say to you if you are at your tired desk moment? If you feel you are nearing burnout or nearing exhaustion, what would you write? What would your energetic, youthful, joyful, fired up self say to you? Write it down. Keep a journal. Reflect on it quietly. If you want, you can share it with a colleague, with a co-teacher. A letter that you will write to yourself at your tiredest, a letter that you at your best would write. Here are top 5 purpose questions to reignite the flame. You can copy these questions and then look at them every now and then, especially at that moment when you feel you are getting exhausted, you want to quit, you want to give up, you want to change profession, you want to abandon the class, you feel like you want to walk out, even. Here are top 5 purpose questions to reignite the flame. Why did I become a teacher in the first place? And try to go back to the very time when you decided to take up education, or maybe you didn't finish education, but you decided to become a teacher. Why did I become a teacher in the first place? Because I was thinking that being a teacher, I will be in a position to make an impact, not just in the life of students, but in society, because it's teachers who prepare all these successful people, not just in terms of financial success, wealth success, but even in being good men and women, upright, living happy family life, being good husbands, good wives, good mothers, good fathers. I can prepare young people to be that kind of person. That's the reason why I decided to become a teacher. Here's another question that can make you remember your purpose. Think of one student that you have helped become better, not smarter, but better. Better person, better student, better son to their parents, better daughter. I'm sure you have experienced being able to help students like that. Students who were lazy and then became hardworking because you inspired them, you motivated them, you pushed them. Students who were even doing poorly, not because they are not as talented or intelligent, but simply because they were not motivated. They come from a family where they feel they are not loved, and then you showed them love, care, attention, and they change, they bloom, even if it's late bloomer, but they changed for the better. Think of those students, and then you realize it's worthwhile. It's worth all the effort, sacrifices, because there are more of them waiting for me who need me. Here's another question. What part of teaching still brings me joy, even if just a flicker? Is it during Teacher's Day celebration? Is it during Christmas and they come with a lot of gifts to give you? Or they write you a letter to thank you at the end of the school year? Or some students coming back excitedly looking for you to tell you, thank you very much. I am who I am because of you. What part of teaching still brings me joy? Some will find great joy in just being with other teachers, colleagues, who are also equally generous, sacrificing to help kids, to help students. Here's another question that you can ask yourself. What does my classroom say about who I am? If they're asked about me, what do they say? Oh, that teacher who is very caring, very kind, hardworking, who understands us. What does my classroom say about who I am? Here's another question. If I left teaching today, what would I miss the most? I'm going to miss most these kids who, when they see me in the morning, they run to me excitedly, embracing me. These kinder kids, grade one kids, primary school children. What would I miss most? My high school students who, from the other side of the campus, when they see me, they shout, "Sir," with excitement. If I left teaching today, what would I miss the most? Being with some best friends I gathered or I managed to have in my years of teaching with his colleagues, with his co-teachers, who are also going through difficulties, challenges, but they continue on with the teaching profession. So, those questions can help us do a lot of reflection so that we recover our joy, our energy, and our purpose, the why of our profession. Some sustainable teacher habits. Energy recovery menu. Try to come up with a list. Try to come up with a list of things that you can do, whether it is to take a break. I have to go to my happy place. I know a teacher, ang happy place niya is um, going to the mall and just window shopping. And that's how he will recover his strength. I know someone, his energy recovery is to go to the chapel, to pray the rosary, to attend the mass. That's his energy recovery. I know another person whose energy recovery is to have a chat conversation with his friend, his mentor, someone he looks up to. Whatever it is, try to come up with that list of what can I do if my energy is at its lowest. What are the choices I have? What are the different energy recovery methods that I can use? And then go to that list every so often. Add more as you discover more ways of being able to get your energy back. Believe it or not, I know some teachers, their energy recovery is watching cat movies, cat videos. You know those videos in YouTube, in TikTok, in Facebook Reels, videos of cats and kittens or dogs and puppies. Um, and that's how they get energized watching those videos. Okay, okay. Here are top five zero budget energy habits that you can actually consider. Sacred minute before class, before entering a classroom, before leaving the faculty room. 1 minute, pause, breathe, pray, smile, all in 1 minute. The smile there really works. And I'm going to talk about it again in that session on the 5 minute, um, 5 minute midday activities that we can do in order to recover our strength. Sacred minute. In fact, that's one of the strategies. Midday reset. In the middle of the day, especially because we have lunch breaks, step out, look at the sky, stretch, If you can do jumping jacks, go ahead. But midday, consider it like a part of your schedule that in the middle of the day, I will have to do a reset, reboot, reformat, restart. Here's another one: protect your no. One non negotiable boundary that you are not going to do this, you are not going to complain, you are not going to protect your no. Here's another strategy: affirmation post it. Those yellow things, the um how how do you call that? Colored papers with the sticky part at the back. And then you put there some energizing quotes that will affirm you or energize you or boost your motivation. Like, you don't have to be perfect, just present. An affirmation like that you um, post to remind you that it's okay to be tired, it's okay to be exhausted. I have to continue on moving forward. Here's another one: connect with one fellow teacher each week. Connecting, not about work, not about how do you teach this, how do you handle these students, but just connecting. I mean, this is one of the reasons why Pope Francis used many times the word accompaniment. Accompaniment. We need it. We, especially teachers, would need this kind of accompaniment. So we can think of um, one fellow teacher that for this week I'm going to connect with and ask about how's the family, how are things, what are your hobbies, what is your sports, like that. No? The final ritual: I teach. Here are things we can do to remind ourselves, I'm not going to stop, I'm going to continue on. Picture one student watching you teach. Now picture the version of you that they need. And then we realize they don't need a terror teacher. They don't need an angry teacher. They need to see a teacher who comes even if he or she is tired, even if he or she um, really would prefer to be somewhere else. Because sometimes it can happen that really, in our mind, how I wish I am in Boracay right now, I am in the province right now, I am in the beach right now. But no, here I am teaching because they need me, because that's the teacher they need at this moment, someone who is going to help them. Teachers, your impact is not measured by your energy, it is measured by your love. Okay. And I hope the idea of I am in the teaching profession because I want to make a difference in the lives of people, because I want to prepare this generation of young people to take over the Senate, the Congress, the DILG, the DPWH, because I need good people taking over the leadership of society. I love my country enough that I want what is best for it. I want what is best for the Filipino people. Well, I can contribute to that by making sure that all these students entrusted to me will go on to be good men and women of character. That's why I still teach, I still believe, and I still hope. And that is the reason why people say teaching profession is the most hopeful profession. Otherwise, if we don't hope for a better future, for better generation of young people growing up to be good, if we are not hopeful, if we don't hope enough, then there's no point really in staying on. But no, we continue to teach, to believe because we hope. And that's, in fact, the message of the Jubilee year of hope, telling us no matter how dark the world may have become, no matter how uh, challenging things have become in the world, there's still hope because now we are being given these young people to prepare to make the world a better place. So, tired? It's okay. We continue to teach, we continue to believe, we continue to hope. Great. I now I'm going to type in the chat box the link that you can click to claim the certificates. Kindly please either click on the link or you can also scan the QR code and fill up the form so that you can get your certificates. And Joel is going to type there in the chat box, although it's also there on the screen. For any concern about the certificates or the recordings of the previous sessions, you can just send an email to activities.catalyst@gmail.com. Okay, I'm going to end the recording.